everyone, so today I'm going to be going over how I made the Hexagon Rhinestone tumbler. I am using my pattern, which is linked below, and I really hope that you enjoy this, as this is one of my favorite designs that I've made so far. It's so simple, yet so elegant. Another thing that I want to point out is the perfect amount of stones per row for this pattern is 63. So if you can get 63 stones, that will be perfect for you. For this specific tumbler, I used a Steel Magnolia tumbler, which normally fits 64 stones, but I managed to arrange them in a way where I just knocked it down to 63. You can do this if you want, but the main pattern will show 64 stones. For this tumbler, I'm using a 24-ounce plump from the Steel Magnolia along with my rhinestone pattern. I'm using a rhinestone pen from PDB and a precision tip bottle filled with liquid fusion, which I also got at PDB. The precision tip bottle can be found at Michael's. I'm using Jelly White, 4mm, Quicksilver, SS16, Obsidian, SS16 as my 3 rhinestone colors for this tumbler. I'm also using a Tumbler Shield, which is also linked below, so that way I can get a more even spacing on my base row and make sure that everything is lined up correctly. Down below, you will also find a link to a discount code for PDB Creative Studios. They have amazing quality rhinestones, and you can find supplies, rhinestone trays, glue, more tips for your rhinestone pen. It's a one-stop shop for everything that you could imagine for rhinestones. It makes everything so much easier when I can get them all in a single place. Here you can see I'm going in and I'm doing my base row and I'm just pushing the rhinestones up against the Tumbler Shield. The Tumbler Shield makes it really easy to keep this base row straight. Having your base row straight is going to be your number one concern when you're doing a rhinestone tumbler. It's always important to make sure that it's straight and your rhinestones are as spaced apart evenly as you can. If you get one off just a little bit, you can fix it later on, but it's always easiest if you can just get your base row perfect right away. See, you can see here I screwed up and I mixed up a couple of the rhinestones in the pattern, so I had to go back and I had to fix it, but because the glue was still wet, I was able to fix it really quickly and get everything all nice and spaced out. So you can see here I'm pushing against the rhinestones and spacing them out a little bit more so I can get rid of any gaps. Now that my base row is all nice, straight and smooth and even, I'm going to leave it sit for a couple hours before I do my row 2. And you can see I got a little off camera here, but I ended up going in and doing my row 2 after my couple hours were up. And it's such a simple hexagon pattern to follow that you'll notice it really kind of repeats itself. So you can tell eventually after a while the angles of which hexagon is going to be which colors, and as you keep going it'll kind of show the repetitive pattern. It's also important to remember that you are not going to go this fast when you are rhinestoning. I am at 6 times the speed right now. I want you to be able to remember that you can go slow to make sure that your rhinestones are placed in the correct spot. I cannot tell you how many times I have to go back and fix my mistakes because I'm constantly putting the wrong colors in the wrong spots. It's honestly just so irritating if you have to go back and fix it. So if you can do it right the first time, it's always best. So just always take your time, slow down, and breathe. It's supposed to be relaxing. It's not supposed to be stressful. Personally, this is my favorite part of doing a rhinestone tumbler. I love seeing the first few rows start to form the design and come together. It's so satisfying to watch, and it's just such an amazing thing to slowly see that design coming in. I mean, of course, I definitely love finishing the tumbler because it's so satisfying to finally finish a long project, but just seeing the design start to come together is such an amazing feeling. You'll also notice that when I am placing down my liquid fusion for glue, I'm using the glue dot method. I'm not doing a straight line across. I've noticed that you can use less liquid fusion and get a more even coating for your rhinestones by doing this method. If you want to do this, you can. Otherwise, it's easy to just do a line straight across and place your rhinestones on the line. I know it's a little hard to see because I got kind of off camera, but I promise doing the dot version was so much easier for me. While I continue to be a complete dodo bird and just go off camera here, you're going to keep going along and following that pattern. Part of the easiness of this pattern is the hexagons fit perfectly together. So while you're working on the top half of one hexagon, you're also working on the bottom half of the next part. So here we're towards the end of the tumbler. I just went through and I had completed the pattern up a couple rows. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to finish the glue dots. So, have fun, enjoy it, just take in that moment of you're about to finish the most amazing project that you could ever do. And yes, I do think that because I love rhinestone tumblers, and rhinestone tumblers are amazing projects. I hope you love them as much as I do. You'll also notice that as I went through and I got close to the end, I cleaned up a lot of the bottom edge of the tumbler. I do this a lot because when you finish your tumbler, you don't want any of that paint showing from underneath. So it's a lot easier if you do this, so that way it can look cleaner and more professional. You can also do this for the top rim too, but I don't tend to be as particular about it as I am this. I do make the top of my tumblers look nice, but I think it's important to have like a nice silver bottom for this. It kind of makes it stand out and just gives it more of a professional look. I couldn't decide on a color for the glitter bottom, but I really wanted to post the tutorial, so I did not include me doing the glitter bottom for this tutorial. I hope that's okay with you guys, since I do have another tutorial posted on how to do a glitter bottom. I was so excited. I wanted to get this out to you guys. So I really hope that you love it. You can see I'm getting right here at the very end of it. I'm starting to cover up that paint more, and it's starting to form like the very end of that half hexagon and the top of the hexagon there. It's such an amazing feeling to get this close. So just keep watching, guys. I promise this is the best part. And just like that, ta-da, your rhinestone tumbler is finished. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you loved it. I hope you like and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you all have a wonderful, amazing day.